It's officially 3:33 p.m. and we are off the clock.
What y'all been doing?
Pretty much. What have you
No,
been
literally, what have you been doing?
working?
Really?
Have you not been working?
Nonstop.
I've been working, but I think when I was asking, I'm like, what have y'all been like? Really like
working out.
Oh,
we have all
working.
We've
You know
been
what I'm saying? We're working on the podcast, working on the business, working in the gym, working with the spouses and the partners,
Fighting for our lives.
fighting for our lives. That's something.
I have been having a bunch of like out of body experiences this week.
Have you? Tell me why.
It's like weird. It's like surreal. Like, first of all, I want to say like the responses, the feedback, it's just like, it's fulfilling. It feels great.
For sure.
Right. But also too, it's just like surreal. Like
It is surreal.
Like this was a conversation and it really turns into a thing.
It manifested.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Deshae and I were talking the other day when I did her hair. I was like, she said, what the fuck you say?
It's your point. It's your point.
Like I did say.
I know that people
like, this is weird.
That people really do this, but when they do this, they don't. This is all that they do.
Man.
No job.
No other job.
1000%.
This is like they dedicate 100% of their time.
It takes that
to this, and so the fact that we are doing this and
amongst full
and it came out so great. Like it's kind of like a real pat on the back. Like
for sure.
Yeah.
This goes to show like 3 heads are better than one.
Absolutely.
That is the key.
Yeah.
Because you definitely need other brains like helping to push the mission forward.
Yeah. And then she said that was
the
thing you
point.
said. No, it was another thing she said. Yeah.
What did you say?
She was saying that she was happy that she's doing this on this journey with us too because we're solid. And I'm like, yeah, all 3 of us are solid as fuck. Like
this wouldn't have happened any other way.
Just going through the journey.
Solid.
Yeah, going through the journey with you guys. And
sure.
Also too, I'm learning a lot about myself. That was my point yesterday. I'm learning a lot about myself. And it's helping me work on a lot of self stuff.
1000%.
Yeah. Patience is a thing.
Yes.
For me, I need to work on
that
it.
Shade?
No, it's serious. It's a real, like, I realized.
I'm just kidding.
Shade towards myself because I've always known that I'm a little impatient. That's why I always like to do things myself. But patience is a thing. You got to work,
Yeah.
Sometimes you say, oh, that's just so-and-so. That's just, no, baby, you got to work on it.
Yeah.
That can't just be a part of your personality. It's something that it's not a positive, baby. You got to work on it.
When you plan to do things with others,
yeah,
for sure.
right. Other grown folks.
Exactly. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
So
I think it will continue. We will all continue to learn different things about ourselves.
1000%.
Yeah.
It's pushing us all in the best way.
That push,
for
baby.
sure.
It feels like that.
But if you guys, if they can really see the behind the scenes,
all out.
Not all out.
Right. I'm sorry. What you say? I'm sorry, Kyle. What you say?
No, I'm laughing at her ass. Yes.
But no, I'm saying like I'm just happy. Like you guys are great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you are the same way.
You guys are awesome.
You are too.
That's
Thank you.
lit. Did y'all eat good before y'all got here?
No. Food's waiting on me.
Oh, really? Oh,
Food is waiting on me.
Yeah.
Meatloaf is waiting on me.
I definitely ate.
What you eat?
Aside from the salads that got us in the chokehold.
Oh yes. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say we need a sponsorship from these salads.
No, I made a really good salmon salad because I worked out pretty hard and I was just drinking like little protein shakes. And then when I got home, I'm like, yo, I gotta make something right now. It was so good. Yeah, I just want to let y'all know.
A salmon salad?
She-food.
I did eat a little bit.
A salmon season.
Yeah, we took our niece to breakfast this morning, so I had a big breakfast.
Okay.
So I was just waiting to
knock it
eat that meatloaf.
I'm coming over to your house out there.
Right. On the way to Kai's.
Wrap it up.
Right.
For sure.
All right, you guys. You guys ready to start?
Yes.
All right. Well, it's officially 3:33 p.m. and we are off the clock.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ah, yes. Sip, sip. Wait, do you guys believe that whole thing of like when you cheers, you have to look like somebody in the eye?
No.
If not, it's like 7 years of, what is it, 7 years of bad
I'm not
sex?
superstitious
I'm
at
not,
all.
No?
I mean, I do play the superstitious game with certain things, but like the drinking and the eye contact, I'm like, if we really want a good luck, we'll be drinking. Like,
Superstitious about the New Year's Eve thing, but that's it.
But like the food.
You're like, don't wash
and
or don't be
cleaning.
cleaning. Yeah, that's the only thing.
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
it.
I'm not
That's
superstitious
something that I do.
otherwise. I split poles. I do it all.
All in all.
All of
it
it.
is what it is. Yeah. Okay, you guys, so we are back for episode 5 of the Girls That Get It podcast. And we are talking about imposter syndrome.
Definitely.
Listen, let me tell you. So we mentioned it before, and I think it was like
Episode
episode 3.
Yeah.
So briefly we mentioned it, and we all felt like it was time to really kind of break it down as to what it is, because it's actually super important to identify yourself and how you really deal with things in life, and how it really will affect your business. And let's be honest. So I had asked Shay on that episode, I was like, well, tell me what your version of it is, right?
Yeah.
And when we initially talked about it, I said, well, maybe mine would be blah, 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 blah. But, however, I really didn't fully feel as though I had any imposter syndrome. But in doing research, when Ashley provided the research and we all kind of went over everything, I was able to really understand exactly what it was.
How
and
it
be
could
able
show up.
how to show up. Yeah. And I think when somebody's hearing it, it automatically sounds super negative, right?
Oh, for sure.
So, of course, they're going to want to assume, no, that's not me, or I don't, whatever.
I think when you say the word syndrome,
Oh,
I'll take
1000%.
Yeah. Well, shit, when you say imposter.
They're both heavy hitters.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
you say syndrome, you're like, I ain't got no syndrome.
Yeah.
I ain't got no syndrome. Baby ain't got no.
Baby good.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you just kind of remove that and that definition of that and just like listen to
What it is. Absolutely. Yeah. And my opinion is that everybody fits in one of the categories.
Yeah. I mean, it's overachievers for sure.
overachievers. for
Yeah.
sure.
Entrepreneurs for sure.
And they
Entrepreneurs for sure.
I think you got to be a sociopath to like not have any of, or have never experienced it.
Yeah.
Well, they say 70% of the population at
For sure.
some point or another it shows up. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
My aunt, Betty, rest in peace, she would always say that creatives always have something off
That makes
about
sense.
them.
That makes sense.
Always. So I really believe that. So in doing research, we found out there is like 5 different types of imposter syndromes that you could or cannot have, or maybe
or
you
like
could
5 different ways they show up.
five different ways they show up.
Yeah. To your point, though, before you get started, to
Yes.
your point about 70%, it also affects women of color.
Yes.
Even more.
Even more, of course. Well,
What do you
obviously,
think?
because it wasn't. Listen, that it wasn't fit for us. It wasn't
Right.
created for us. The workplace
these
was
spaces
number one.
weren't.
It wasn't created for women, and number 2, it wasn't created for Black women.
Definitely not.
So, and we still experience a lot of things in the corporate world and the workspace that we shouldn't be in 2023. I do see some progression in it, but
For sure.
it's crazy. It's insane.
Well, you think about the irony in that statement, because if you hold any type of position in any company as a woman of color, as a Black woman, you have literally done every
Yes.
single
200%.
role,
Yes.
like every single door, like mark
Yep.
you had to reach. You've done every position. You've done everything
Yep.
to be in the position that you're in. And how dare you legit like question whether your worthiness of it. So
Yes.
it's kind of
Yes.
weird,
Right.
but
And you've done like 2 times what everyone else has done.
Exactly. Yes.
to get there.
Yes.
Yes.
I have a
Absolutely.
client, one of my favorite clients. I won't say her name, but she kind of went through a little situation. She's in tech, and she has a toddler, but she also has a 3-month-old. And so it was supposed to be a big week for her in the company. One of her supervisors came to visit from out of town, but her baby had like allergic reaction to something, the 3-month-old. And so she literally had to miss a really important day and obviously probably some important meetings. But when she returned, she had somebody basically pull her to the side and was like, that's not a day that you should have missed. And she's like,
have to choose.
baby, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's my baby.
Yeah.
I'm always going to choose
Right.
my family.
Right.
And I was just like, I totally understand. I'm glad that you stood, on what your beliefs were, and you just say, I understand. I won't do that next time. Please, it's my baby.
Right.
3-month-old.
But it's like when they're used to having the opposite sex in leadership.
Yeah.
They don't have to show up when the kid is sick. You know what I mean?
No.
Like they're not expected to, and they don't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
She said, and they don't. And they don't.
nobody looks to them.
Nobody looks to them.
Kids sick as hell, and they they ain't work.
Update me. Let me know what the doctor said.
Or they're not questioned.
Right.
Real quick.
Yeah.
That's
so. Okay, so should we break down?
Yes, let's get into it.
Let's get in.
So type 1, the perfectionist. I think that's like a lot of people, but let me tell you what it is. So they typically set very high expectations for themselves. And even if they meet 99% of their goals, that 1%, if they fail on it, it's like the end of the world.
Right, eats them up.
Yeah. So I think that shows up in a lot of people. And again, we're going to say that some of these type 1s, type 2s, you can have multiple.
Absolutely.
It
shows up. Some of
but
them
like
all
that's
have.
what I'm saying. It's like at one point or another in your journey, it might be the perfectionist, it might be the other, the other type. It might be you're gonna be riddled with it.
Yeah, but in the perfectionist, they feel like that 1% may be a huge failure. Like they're a failure. Like they didn't complete everything, so it's the end of the world. Like it's odd.
It's odd, or even just feeling in that perfectionist, like don't let it, it's just, it could be debilitating altogether.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like when you don't have in your mind all of the criteria met, you just might fold on it. Even if you have that 99, that 1% might be like, I'll just wait, or I might not pursue, or I'll push everything back.
It can paralyze you. Basically.
Paralyze you.
Yeah. I'll say one of the last, I would say 3, 4, 5 years, the little trend now is when the end of the year comes and people post up their yearly sales like, I had this goal to make $200,000 and I made $255,000. I feel like sometimes that plays a role as being like that'll affect the perfectionist. It's like,
1000%.
I didn't make this amount of money. I had this goal, whatever. Everything is just money.
It was a trash year.
Yeah, it was a trash year.
Whole year.
Whole year trash year, but it really wasn't. You know what I mean? Because think about where you were 5 years, ago, whatever. Yeah. So, Ashley, what do you think is a way to deal with being a perfectionist?
I'm still working.
I think you have to approach it like just understanding that you're not going to be perfect, that you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. Like that's a part of the journey.
Yeah, and that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
Like mistakes are a part of success.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we've all kind of dealt with this doing this.
Oh, one
Not.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like who's home?
Right.
Yes.
Right. All 3. How many heads does it take to accomplish one thing?
Accepting that and just kind of leaning in, like accept that you're gonna make mistakes. It's a part of the journey. What you said last episode, like you don't take any L's. Like every loss is a lesson.
Yes.
Really
and
moving into that mindset.
Yes. And because you're gonna learn something from it.
1000%.
I don't know.
It's just also to talking about it. I don't know who you could talk
1000%.
to about it, but if you could just talk about it, like talk about that feeling of, you might just need some reassurance in that moment that you're in the right direction. So a trusted person, I'll say if it's not a therapist or whatever, just somebody that you trust and their opinions you value. So just bring it up.
Yeah.
And I mean, that can help.
Yeah. Somebody can help you to look through
a different lens.
Yeah.
Because once you got that perfectionist lens, it's real tight.
I'm telling you. Okay, so type 2 is the natural genius. So the natural genius is somebody who's went throughout school, went throughout the majority of their life, maybe adolescence, and things have always been easy. Taking tests, literally anything, doesn't matter, a sport or whatever, always have been on top, right?
Right.
And
Even
then
if they procrastinate.
Yeah. Even if they, are we talking about from experience? Are we talking about from experience? Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yes, and then they get into their adulthood, and then
with those same practices.
But things aren't as easy as for them. So then they start to have this imposter syndrome about themselves, where they're feeling like self-doubt, absolutely. Yes.
Coming as naturally.
Yes. Yeah. So they tend to, again, self-doubt, like you said. So they're feeling like the struggle is going to forever be a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Have you had any experience with that?
I'm checking, like, as she goes down the list, I'm checking them all
Right.
off. Many times, like, if I transition to something new and I don't necessarily pick it up the easiest, or just transitioning in life to different stages of your life, if you meet struggle, or if I've met struggle, sometimes I get really insecure in that moment and I might shut down. But the way I deal with things, but when I come back out of it, it'll be fine. But you do have that moment like, what the heck am I doing here? What is going on? Because you definitely are used to getting through things with a greater
ease.
with
Yeah.
ease,
Yeah,
with a greater
with
amount of
ease.
ease.
Yeah.
As you take on new tasks, though, it's like it's a bit arrogant to think that you're not gonna
1,000%.
That you're gonna
Yeah,
immediately just,
right.
you
Like
know,
you're not gonna, encounter things that you're unsure of, especially with the way technology is happening so quickly. It's like it's a little arrogant to think that you're just gonna be a natural
at
every level
without any effort or extra work.
I mean, I know somebody who is in that moment struggling, like transitioning from like high school to, I wouldn't even say adulthood, because that's kind of like
the next phase.
next phase, adolescence,
into
into minor baby adulthood, whatever. And it's a struggle for them. It's a struggle for them because it's like, dang, I used to just ace everything, not study, not do this, not do that. And so it's more so of you gotta really give yourself grace.
Down.
Give yourself grace too. Yeah. And and take some time and relearn how you learn.
Right, absolutely.
But doesn't that require a bit of like being really real with yourself?
Absolutely.
And that can prolong the adolescent like phase of whatever. It's like if you can sometimes like get real with yourself and just say like, yo, you're tripping, or like, you didn't do all that you could have to pass that or ace that or like perform at a different level. Like if you keeping it a buck, you didn't like
do
what you needed to do.
Yeah.
Rather than also give yourself grace also, but also be real with yourself. And did you hold yourself to a really high standard? Like I think that could help, get you out of your funk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
You gotta like see yourself as a work in progress.
Yeah.
You gotta know like the skills that you don't have, you can attain. So I think sometimes with a natural genius, it's like if you don't have the answer, you forget. Like we have phones. Like just go to Google. Like you know what I mean? Go to YouTube. Like you can't use your resources. But if you were just dependent on yourself, you were always the genius. You don't even. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I don't know how many times I've said, "What is that?" When I could just go to my phone. Like, I don't know what that means or where that's at. And I'm like, I can just go to my phone.
I tell my kids that all the time.
Yeah, use your resources.
Yeah. Come on now.
I'll tell somebody that and still.
Sometimes I'll be like, am I Google?
Yeah, right.
Am I here to solve all the problems?
Yeah, like, come on. Okay, so another way that it can show up is by being the rugged individualist, right? So if asking for help triggers something in you,
right?
If you struggle to see something as a success unless you have achieved it by yourself, then you are a rugged individualist. These kind of imposters struggle to reach out when they need the assistance, and they feel as though getting help with the task invalidates their own.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's
interesting.
It's a heavy one.
It's a tough spot.
It's a heavy one.
It is a heavy one.
Because I feel like a lot of we were raised like that. A lot of black folks were raised like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I'll do it myself.
You're strong enough. You got it. You'll figure it out.
Just not wanting to ask for help. I don't know if it invalidates like the accomplishment. The way we were raised.
I think.
Yeah, it doesn't invalidate the accomplishment. It's just a thing of, why are you asking for help? Figure it out. You're strong. You're this. You can figure it out. You can do this. Or it sometimes. Okay, I'll say this. I'll identify what I mean.
Yeah.
Like if you're struggling, like financially, or if you're having,
there we go.
Then it's like a thing of asking for help or telling somebody what's going on with you.
Right.
It's like it invalidates you as a person, you as a strong
1000%.
person, you as a stable person.
1000%.
Yes.
Seeking therapy.
Hello, absolutely,
there we go.
absolutely.
You brought it home for me because I was confused.
And I think this is a good reason why we are discussing this, is because it's not just identified in business. It's not just identified in personal. Like, some of this stuff is like embedded in you from like childhood, whatever.
Yep.
And cultural things sometimes too.
1000%.
So not only just to speak about, the African American culture, but there's other cultures who are the same. They're super prideful. So pride is a huge thing, So
it's just not the way you do things.
It's just not the way you do things. Absolutely, yeah.
Prideful, that's a good word to attach to it.
Yeah.
The wrong type of pride.
Yeah. But I don't think asking for help invalidates, anything.
Because who gets to the top by themselves?
Not at all.
Nobody. So
billionaires have a team. Billionaires
but I think we hear like self-made billionaire, self-made millionaire.
Yeah.
I think it's like,
I think people get that word confused.
Right, exactly. Because no one did it alone.
No.
Right. Yeah.
Self-made means it was their idea that was executed, maybe, or something like that. But
it means, I think self-made is like, I didn't come from wealth.
That's all that means. Yeah. That's all that it means.
Yes.
That's all that it means. But no, the people who have made it, they've had help along the way, along the journey.
Yeah.
1000%.
Whether or not they're admitting it, but who wouldn't, like.
And then a lot of times when people say self-made, for me, it kind of sounds like they're replacing the words hard work.
Yeah.
Like, self-made, basically, like, I did all the hard work by myself, but I feel like.
And so this might be a little like woo-woo, but I feel weird when people say self-made, because it's like you're replacing this, whatever that spiritual factor, like the God part, the universe part, like, or you're replacing that part.
Not only that, I think about like what my parents did to help me get to where I am. They didn't have to pay money for me I turned down a scholarship, a full ride scholarship at one particular university, and decided to go to a HBCU where everything wasn't paid for. They took,
just being born to them.
Hello.
Right? Like, you had nothing to do with that. Like, just being born to them.
Yeah. So yes, again, it takes away spiritual, and it takes the spiritual aspect of it. And it also takes away the things that people have done to help you get to where you are.
Do you ever think of, when you say that, when you take away the spiritual part, like, I've had conversations with atheists, and they say they're solely responsible for their actions and their abilities. And you know what I mean? Like, they have the ultimate confidence in themselves, and they make the decisions, and they're not going to give the credit anywhere but their.
And that's their right.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
That's their right.
So that's when I said, when they say self, like, you're removing that. But some people really.
They're taking full responsibility for themselves. The good and the bad. It's on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, listen,
I
don't personally believe that. I think the universe is conspiring for your good always.
Sure.
Or conspiring, period. Like, we're all connected too. So I don't know if I identify with that, but I get it. Like, I respect that.
I don't identify with it too. I don't know. Remember actually.
No, that's a valid point.
I understand it, but I don't get it.
They believe in like cause effect.
Yeah.
But it's like I could be driving drunk and hit you. You didn't have anything to do with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you didn't. Your actions. I guess they could say where they were driving that day.
I could have fucked up at work. I could have fucked up at work and got fired, and you got my position because I fucked up at work. So like, it's not all you. Like you said, cause and effect.
Yeah.
Because we're all connected.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I think the rugged individualists, if they're seeking help, they can basically ask the people that you look up to, ask your mentors if you have them, like, who has helped them on their journey. I think that will help them put it in perspective that no one got there by themselves.
Yeah.
I think the common denominator in all of these is, like, as we go down this list of how imposter syndrome shows up, is you really just kind of got to talk about it, because while you're sitting there feeling isolated, feeling like you're the only person going through this thing, or having this awkward feeling because you're transitioning, you would be surprised to know the person sitting right next to you is probably experiencing it in a different way,
or have already experienced it and can help you walk through
exactly.
Yes,
so it's just like, don't take on all of that by yourself. Say something to somebody, and even if they can't help you, they can point you in the direction.
Absolutely.
Find you a business bestie.
Find you a business bestie.
Yeah, it's like
that almost comes up on every episode that we've done so far.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure it will continue to come up.
Yes, but I really want people to really find that.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's not a business bestie, a mentor or whatever, somebody that you can bounce things off of. Like, it's
Even if
so
you have
Mentors
important.
don't have to be someone that you know personally.
That's
You
what I was
can
about to say.
find someone online. Like, you know,
Even if you have to pay for that service, like
invest.
invest. In it. It's like investing in you.
Listen.
It reminds me though of something that I've heard many times. I think on EYL too, where they say if you want to go far, if you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go, if you want to go.
No, you said it on episode 1. You said it on episode.
Okay,
yes, you definitely did.
Go by yourself.
Go by
If you
yourself.
want to go far,
Go
together.
together. Absolutely. Yes. Right.
It's coming. It was right there. It was right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we
that
talked
part.
about it on episode 1 when the question was posed, why is this going to work?
Yeah.
There you go. And I said it clear that time. Huh?
Yeah, you said it on point last time, baby.
We just gonna snip it and put that one in there.
Okay, so another way it will show up is being the expert. Okay, so if you're an expert type, you probably prefer to spend time researching and gathering as much information as possible before you start a new project. You like to come into something well-informed, right? And you probably regularly spend time looking for ways to improve your skill set. No, you probably do. Spend a lot of time finding ways to improve your skill set or undergo extra training.
All the certificates.
Listen,
All the classes.
here is another point.
All
This
the
will hold you
things.
back from applying for jobs if you don't meet all the criteria in the description, or preventing you from speaking up in a group, feeling afraid that your answer won't be perfectly informed. Yeah. So what do we think about that?
I identify. I identify. I mean, knowledge is good.
Yes.
But you got to execute.
Execution.
And you got to be okay with being a beginner, not, having like that on the go training and learning.
Yeah.
This here is
This
force
is
and
the
that.
best representation
Yeah, for me.
of that.
This for sure is. Yeah. Do you feel like you were always like that?
I feel like I have an aversion to people that are like loud and wrong.
Okay.
And so I am, you know what I mean?
You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be loud.
I don't want to be
and
that person.
Yeah.
So it's like if I'm gonna speak, I need to do the work and the research. But you're right; it also can paralyze you a bit. Yes, it's like you're getting the information. It's like the books, all the good books that we've read. It's like most of them have the same principles.
Right.
You would just execute on that one. You don't need another book. You don't need another class.
You don't need another event to go to.
That part.
Yeah, like
execute.
why do you keep going to the same
1000%.
type of conventions, event?
We had a moment like that where we went to one of our, our industry.
Last place.
Yes, we did.
We did. We were sitting in the crowd.
Yeah.
Literally watching the presentation. And I tapped her on the shoulder. I said, I think this is our last one. She was like,
I've heard this information already before. It's
well, it's not
repetitive.
even that. It's like, okay, we've heard it and we've heard it and we've heard it presented in this way. It's like, we just got to execute some of this stuff. We don't need to do any more of these.
Yeah.
We've gained all of
We've done the social part of it.
We've done the social part of it. We got the information.
Yeah.
Execute. Now it's time to get back.
It's like, and that was like next level.
Yeah.
And then, the next level of information that you get is going to be to advance you. Whereas like we did Trina's class, we waited a year. We took the next one once we executed and mastered.
Yeah. Okay. So another example, I'm going to bring up EYL again. So, you go to I go to Rec and Symposium, which is, will be, similar to you guys' lash stuff, right?
Okay.
So it's for hair, whatever. But it's like, okay, how many hair classes am I going to go to? How many balayage classes am I going to go to? How many social media classes I'm going to go to? So when we went
they
to
become social events.
At some point, you start seeing the same people, whatever. And then it's the same people presenting. So, but anyways, us going to EYL, it wasn't beauty based, right? It was business based. So basically, that's like, okay, it's not particularly for your industry, but you're going to learn other things to help you elevate, right?
Yep.
Other things that you can tap into to build your portfolio for you to kind of grow as a business person, business owner in general, not just somebody. A beauty business owner.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so compared to like the seminars you've been to and the events you've been to and the ones we've been to.
Yeah.
Did Earn Your Leisure, what was it? Invest Fest. Did
Invest
that
Fest.
not feel like home?
Oh, for sure.
Like, I don't think we felt any imposter
But
syndrome
you
that
know what
day.
is scarier, even scarier, which makes me so proud of them? That was only their second one.
Oh, 1,000%.
It was their second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
When it's good, it's good.
I felt
When
at
it's
home.
good, it's good.
Yeah.
When it's real,
When it's real.
it's amazing.
1,000%.
Oh man, it's
Yeah.
nothing like it.
Yeah.
You can tell when it's phony, but it's totally a lifestyle. But yeah, to your point, you felt right at home. Even like with me not even being familiar with all of the topics being spoken on.
Right.
I
You felt
just
the energy. You
comfortable.
felt it.
Yeah.
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 Felt the energy. I felt comfortable. I felt like I was amongst inspired people
Yep.
who were here to pick and choose the knowledge
Yep.
that they were going to take back home and execute.
Yeah.
I was about to point out something that you said before. In being the expert in that one thing, you might be expert at level 5. You know what I mean? But there's still a level 10 and understanding
And a level
that
20 and-
you
yeah.
not being at the level 10, that doesn't make your
Right.
journey any less
Right.
significant.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And most of the people that you admire and respect, they've had help. Lots of it.
Yes. Not most. Everybody.
All of them.
Yes.
All of them.
All of them.
They have teams.
Yeah, I was gonna say whether if it was somebody that they questioned and asked and that mentored them, or if it's just literally a team that helped them along. Because honestly, truly, listen to this though, majority of the time the boss does not know everything, and that's the reason why a team is implemented, because then they hire somebody who is an expert in this particular thing,
Exactly.
and
The
it
boss
helps.
delegate.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So of
but
course
they
you want.
see that's their talent. They see who can handle
Absolutely.
X, Y, Z, and they
So it's
delegate
not just
people to
about the
task.
information or the education. It's sometimes it's the experience as well.
Yes.
1,000%.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the next one is the superhero. My favorite.
Who's that?
Not my
like?
favorite, right? Just what I identify with, right? So a superhero pushes themselves to work harder than everyone else around them to prove that they're not an imposter. Okay, their expectations for themselves are higher than their expectations of others. So freaking true. And they feel as sometimes overwhelmed and need to succeed in every element of their life. So that means personal, that means business, at home, at work. And working harder than others to prove your worthiness or to cover up feelings of being an imposter can quickly lead. I feel like I'm in church, but pastor can quickly lead to burnout and be detrimental to your mental health.
Yes.
It's so real.
And the resentment too. Like, did they mention that?
No, but they should. Listen. And put that in caps.
Resentment that comes along with that.
Yes.
So what do you mean resentment? Like resentment for the things that you're doing, or resenting other people for not like
It's like
acknowledging
I'm
that?
doing it all because I want to do it all, and
But I'm mad that nobody else is helping.
exactly. But I don't want nobody else's help.
But it's
I'm
really
still
your
mad.
fault.
Right.
It's resentment.
Yeah, it's really your fault.
It's your fault.
Yeah, it's your fault.
So all that's
It's like being in a
Yeah.
relationship with someone and you're like, they never do this. Like, you never require them to.
You never require them to, or you never give them the space to do so because you're
Absolutely.
always doing
Covering.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, dang, I wanted to plan a night out, but you've already done planned it from A to Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just
Or when I did
Right,
do
we
it,
just
I didn't do
gonna
it
go.
right.
But
Yeah.
that part I don't have to deal with, baby, because when I tell you I have a romantic person,
Aw.
he's romantic.
So sweet.
I gotta do better. I need to do better in that department.
Same.
So
So
yeah,
I don't. Not that I have a romantic. I don't have a romantic. I have a sweet little baby. But
oh,
I need to be better with all of it.
with the sweetness.
All of it. All of it.
NA.
That was gonna be my question. Did you want to add to that, Deshae? Did you want to add to that?
Hey,
Cut
this part out.
Cut it out, Hasma. Cut it out, Hasma. Do you hear me?
You the one gonna talk about I got a romance.
She sure did. I'm like, I was on the spot. I'm like, hell no, I'm here with you. Like, hell no, I don't know. Let me stick up for mine.
Make sure you watch this. You
Stick up
make
for
sure you
mine.
cut.
'Cause I'm gonna stick beside him.
Diet.
So the one thing that really sticks out to me is like the burnout.
Yes.
Yeah, so the burnout. So I haven't gotten to like the mental health part yet. But the burnout for sure. Like the feeling the exhaustion. There is nothing like being mentally exhausted. Like I can possibly deal with physical. You take a good nap, but mental, it takes some days.
Yeah.
To really find your peace.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah.
I get a lot of people that sometimes question how I navigate certain scenarios.
Yeah.
And why I keep it light in certain spaces. And I'm like, y'all don't know what that emotional burnout feels like for me. And,
Yeah.
I might disappear on your ass for a week.
You there, literally under the bed, right?
Under the bed. So it's like I don't let certain things get me, my panties in a knot because I physically can't, and I don't have the time to like manage what that feels like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like to your point, I think in the industry that we're in, people don't think that we work really hard.
Oh, baby.
But it's like,
yes.
This is hard work.
It
bro.
is.
Oh my God.
The energy that you're dealing with, the conversation, the
physical, the body,
juggling.
what it does to your body physically. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Like aside from like exerting yourself, it is a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. My brain be split in 3 ways, always. Concentrating on what conversation I'm on, concentrating on what I'm actually doing.
Keeping up with time.
Keeping up with time.
Yes.
Is the humidity in the room right?
Next client, all of it.
All of that. All of that is happening at once.
Thinking about tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? You're planning for tomorrow. Yeah. Still in today.
And still trying to get your food in.
No.
Me and you texting.
Right. The whole day.
Brain sliced in every.
I need to see the change.
No, legit.
We be going.
Yeah, they be rolling. I mean, complete flowing. But all of that, and so much so sometimes, once I'm done with work, because my brain is being split. Once I'm done with work, I get a burst of energy because I now can only think about what I want to eat. It's only one thing on my mind.
Baby said what I want to eat.
Except 8. Instead of 8.
Yeah.
It's only one thing. And I'm like, ooh, I got this little zhuzh of energy. And it holds me over till I eat. And then I just collapse.
Oh, my God. Literally collapse. Collapse.
Okay,
real. So what are some tools that a superhero can use to literally navigate out of this imposter syndrome?
I mean, just honestly, being honest to the people around you who you have these weird or who you feel have these weird expectations or super high expectations of you, being honest about you being a human. Yeah. Like, I can't do all of this. Or like, if you're having a problem today, hey, I can't help you with that. You know what I mean? Exercising certain boundaries.
I think one thing that a superhero needs to understand is that to not make it about other people, because you are making these self decisions. So don't necessarily make it about other people. Hold yourself accountable.
Right. For the situation you put yourself in.
Situation you put yourself in. Yeah, 1,000%. Absolutely. So even I feel like a superhero just needs to take a beat.
Yeah. And you can't really like gauge your self-worth on the validation of others or what you're able to put out. Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And what did Jay say? Like just having those boundaries.
Yeah.
I think that came up in our one of our first meetings about this.
Yeah.
You talked about that.
Yeah.
You knew it was an issue.
I knew it was an issue.
And then Jay was like, you do that.
Yeah. But mine, I have identified with mine so more that it's literally more so about me.
1,000%.
Less than other people. It's like I really have really had conversation with myself and been like, girl, you are literally I have these expectations for myself.
Right.
Nobody has put these expectations on me. And it's like a literal like unseen, unwritten, whatever. It's just like, where did these come from? But I think I've identified where they came from.
Yeah, you've identified where they come from, but also just identifying what that does for you.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, 1,000%. That like strokes your ego in a certain way.
Yeah.
To know.
But I can remember being, I think in 2nd or 3rd grade, and I changed my report card.
I did that.
I mean, you did that before for your parents? Huh? You mean like you changed it for your parents?
Yeah, on my report card.
Okay.
On my report card. And my mom's not slow, so she's like,
right. What is this?
Right. Yeah, because I literally had, I think I probably had straight A's and B's, and then I had 1 C, and I tried to turn that C into a B. How are you gonna turn the C into a B? I don't know. Right. But she was like, so you didn't change this,
right?
No.
Right. I was too terrified. I was terrified. I would have never done that.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, well. The end result wasn't too great.
Same result, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, my mom and my grandma worked at the schools I went to.
Oh,
So
shoot.
it wasn't even possible. None of that was possible.
Yeah, they would walk to my grandma and tell her what was going on.
But that's like a funny story in my family. Everybody remembers that, and just
Yes,
it wasn't funny to me until I got about 18. I'm like,
For
that
sure.
was funny.
Yeah. After you come up out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think women of color, and probably just women in general, experience being that superhero at some point in their lives.
Oh, yes.
Especially as you
It's put on us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one client.
Especially black women.
Yes.
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yes.
It's like we're strong. We can do. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
we can do anything. It's like we kind of put that on ourselves a bit too.
But
it's been
also-
put on us, but we.
Yeah,
do
but it's
ourselves,
been
too.
put on us so bad that, and I would love to talk about this in another episode. It got real heavy during COVID times where they were talking about how black women were dying from giving birth.
Oh, absolutely.
Because in their minds, they're like, you got it. You're strong enough.
Oh,
You
yeah,
don't
the
need
medical-
medicine. You don't need this, whatever.
1000%.
Like, they're just being like, if another
Medical
race.
discrimination is a very real thing. Serena
Yeah,
Williams went through
absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
And I think it takes for even it's not just about wealth. It's not just about
No.
those boundaries. It's black women in general.
Yes.
I think Beyonce talks about her
Serena
experience.
Williams.
Yeah.
Serena Williams talked about how
Yeah.
she almost died from giving
Yeah.
birth from, people thinking that, you're strong.
Oh, it's a real thing.
Not only are you a strong
I mean,
black
it's
woman,
the
but you're an
reason-
athlete.
Yeah.
It's the racial discrimination in the medical system. It's the reason why we didn't necessarily get hooked on like opiates.
Yeah,
because doctors wouldn't even
absolutely.
give us that shit.
No, because they're like, you're good.
That was the one time.
That's the one good thing about it.
That
Yeah.
was the one time
Yeah.
it worked to our benefit.
Yes.
But, yeah.
So can we talk about just in general some key points to take away from this about how to identify your imposter syndrome and the things that you can do to, I guess, work through it?
Yeah, I think finding some information about it. I know I'm the information person, but finding some information about it, seeing how it's affecting your life, being real with yourself.
That's all I was about to say.
Yeah.
Is keep it a buck with yourself. If
Talk
you
to
can
someone
really
you trust.
Yes.
talk to someone you trust, but if you're experiencing something, like sit down and listen, get slow and get quiet and identify what's going on with yourself.
Yeah.
And then I guess you can, reach out for the actual research.
Once you identify,
Once you identify,
once you get real and identify what is going on with you, then
you can fix it.
Yes.
1000%.
And know that it's okay that everybody identifies with one or the other at some point in life.
Absolutely.
And that it may not be just your particular title, but again, it may be a moment in time.
It's a moment
And
in
once
time.
you identify, you'll be able to really work through what's really going on with you, and it's going to improve your business, improve yourself, improve how you view yourself and how you
even
operate.
if it comes up again.
Yes.
If it comes up again, you're able to identify, that's what that is.
That's what that
and
is.
I'm not
Yeah.
going
So I
down
can put that.
hole.
Yeah.
I know what
side.
this is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just know you're not an imposter, nor do you
Not
have
at
a
all.
syndrome.
Right.
Neither one.
Out here
Either one.
really living and really feeling
Yes.
good.
You are exactly
yes,
where you're supposed to
absolutely.
be.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
But there are
anything
no
else to add?
imposters here.
No,
Y'all are
no.
all welcome to pull up a chair.
Yes.
Hello.
That was Kai's voice.
That is my voice.
That was your voice. I don't know where it
Yes.
came from.
I was going to say that very happy that we actually got to have this conversation because I feel as though it's a conversation that people can share with others.
For sure.
Right? Some people don't want you to kind of call them on their stuff, but at times it's good for you to know what's going on with your friends, not necessarily just yourself, but what's going on with your friends,
Right.
and really kind of hold their hand and walk through whatever is going with them,
Yeah.
So being a support system for other people as well. And again, it's not just about self. Our whole basis of this podcast is to share with you girls, share the conversations, and honestly show you how our friendship is built. And these are the conversations that have built the friendship. Yes,
in
absolutely.
private.
All the time.
All the time.
Absolutely.
1000%.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
All right.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Episode
Peace
5.
out.
Hey girl, thanks for listening. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.